Today we have a different tool from X-Handle. A lot of times from them we see smaller tools, but this one is actually a full-size multi-tool. This one comes with some different characters on the sheath, and then you open this up. You have the full-size multi-tool inside. I actually do like the sheath. It seems to be a little bit better made than some of the other ones. Snap button there. I like how they have even put their logo in the Velcro. It's pretty neat. There are some small, I guess you could fit a pen perhaps on each side. I don't know if they're quite large enough. I guess for a very small flashlight, perhaps you could fit it on the side. I was trying to figure out what this Velcro portion was, and I think maybe it's to fit some patches on. Now, Woobin in their special box that they sent out to some YouTubers, sent out several different scary looking pouches, or patches rather, and something like this, I guess you would be able to fit on your pouch, something like that, and add a little bit of personalization. Yeah, sort of different. All right, let's move on to the tool. When we open the tool, these are not spring-loaded pliers, but they are almost like that antiqued finish, stone-washed, pretty nice looking. And then the replaceable wire cutters. We've got some nice needle nose pliers, probably a place for crimping here in the bottom if you needed to. The pocket clip looks pretty neat. And then nothing on this handle. And then on this handle, there is the Phillips driver. Let's go ahead and see if we can find an adapter that fits that. So yes, a 1/4 inch adapter will work on here. There is definitely some play, some wobble, but it will work. That's good to know. This does lock into place. Then there is beside this the lanyard holder. Now this is a fairly heavy tool. I don't know why you would ever want this on a lanyard, but the option is open to you. Now, probably before we go any further, one of the stars of this tool will be the scissors if they work. I have not tested these out yet. Let's put that box over there. Let's get some paracord. I've got some smaller pieces lying around. These actually seem to work really good. Even on the tip, they work very nicely. Actually, very pleasantly surprised how well they're working. Now, if you remember a little while back, we had a pink tool, and that did not work well at all. Let's go ahead, bring this concoction of tow ropes. Wow. All right, I'm going to put my hand a little further back on here. I'm going to try it this way, see if it cuts as well. Yeah, either way, it cuts really nice. Right through there. Let's see about some more precise cuts. Cuts right through the plastic. No problem. Yeah. Now I need to hunt down some zip ties. Here is a zip tie. Let's go ahead, cut this with the scissor. That works pretty good. Before we go too much further, we'll check out the wire cutters. These seem to work pretty good. This is just soft copper wire, but even so, they work good. Let's see about on this very small, yeah, so it does cut even the very small wire. Let's move to some of the outside tools. The knife is another star. Now, the knife is D2, so remember how the scissors worked so well. Let's go ahead, just bring some of this paracord out, see how easy this knife is. Actually cuts through there very well. Let's try that again, give it another pass. Pretty good. Seems fairly sharp. I do like the looks of this knife. It's a very long knife. On the opposite side is the saw. In the future, perhaps I will do a test on this. I think the teeth seem a little closer together than some of the others. I need to make a standard on how to test a saw. I think I may get some small dowel rods so they won't take too long to cut through. And we'll go ahead and maybe time how quick these work on something like a dowel rod. Maybe 1/4 inch, 1/2 inch, something like that. And then we'll have a quick test on that in the future. Let's look through the outside tools. I really like this stonewash looking finish right here. Yeah, pretty nice. Huge fan of that. The file, now you've only got one grit of file. There's no diamond file. You're just stuck with what you have. It looks okay. Not a huge fan. There's a screwdriver tip at the end. You've got inches and metric, but it's more of a depth gauge. There is this package opener. Then there is the can opener, bottle opener, the wire bender, looks like, and the serrated blade. Now, this is a fascinating tool setup here because this is based off the Gerber setup. That's really neat. So I did not realize that. That's something new that I learned tonight. I did not realize they were using that, but they are using that system where it falls into place and then the spring locks it up. Yeah, that's pretty neat. It's not like the Leatherman or the SOG where you actually, it fits into a notch. This is a different setup. So overall, I think it's a pretty nice tool. Now, I had some reservations about this. I do feel like it's turned out to be a little nicer than I thought, but this does come in at $55, and that's really why I hesitated reviewing this for so long. It does seem very similar to some other tools, and I'm going to grab another tool that it reminds me of. Now, I think at the moment, the X-Handle's biggest competitor is probably the GHK. This one comes in at $39, and it has almost like these trauma shears. The shears are spring-loaded. Also, the pliers are spring-loaded. It also has the 14C28 knife, which is very long, the serrated blade, which is pretty long, the saw, which is larger. It doesn't have as many internal tools, so the setup is a little bit more geared for outdoor survival situations, but I think this one at $15 less than the X-Handle probably gives it a pretty good run for its money. So if you're interested in that Phillips screwdriver and a more usual setup of tools, that's probably you want to look at the X-Handle. Otherwise, the GHK is a pretty nice option. Now, one tool that I forgot, let's go and look at this, is in the handle on the outside. I did not realize that we had this tool. This is the ferrule rod, so they snuck that in there on the outside. This is becoming more and more popular. They're putting tools on, almost like scale tools in here, especially whenever there's scissors. So that's a unique way that we're seeing designs change, just like in the GHK. Let's look through this, make sure I haven't missed anything. It talks about needle nose pliers, knife, keyring, bottle opener, flathead screwdriver, another flathead screwdriver, a lock release, where you can use this for bolts, scissors, Phillips screwdriver, wire stripper. Let's see where they talk about the wire stripper. I think that's where I said the wire bender. So we'll look at that a little bit later. The all metal file, the dual row tooth saw, wire cutter, belt clip on back, serrated knife, can opener, box cutter, and the box cutter, is this one listed as 15. Roller on the back, and the ferrule rod. Talks about silver, black, sand, green, sand washed or stone washed. That's what we have. And this is listed as the MT10, even though I think on Amazon it may be called the 20 or 22 in 1. Now, let's pull out this tool. This is what they're listing as the wire stripper. I guess it is a very small wire stripper. Let's go ahead and bring this wire back. See if it would work. I don't know. I don't feel like it's working that well. Well, it did work. But yeah, I don't know. It's not my favorite design, but it's hard to complain when it worked. Now, I think there might be 3 reasons why you might want to buy this over other tools. The first reason is the D2 steel. That does set it apart from some manufacturers. More and more we see manufacturers claiming that they do have upgraded steel, which is nice to see. And then the second reason is the spring-loaded scissors. These actually seem to be very sharp. I really like how they cut. One of the things we did not do is cut seat belt, but I really don't think we need to since we did the tow rope, but I have it here. Why not? Yeah, cuts the seat belt very well. These are very nice scissors. I do like them. And the third reason is maybe a little odd, but I feel like this pouch, this holster, is a little bit better made than several other ones that I have seen. It's not just because it has the Velcro on the bottom. I've seen several others with that, but the construction just feels a little better. The material feels a little thicker, and I don't know how well this snap will hold up in the back, but as of now, it definitely does look just a little bit better made. It is nice that you can sort of personalize the pouch. For $55, I think it's at the top of its market. I think it's a little bit overpriced. I can see $40, $55 seems stretching it a little bit, but you do have the upgraded steel, you do have the really nice scissors, and all the other tools that go with it. It does not come with a bit set, at least mine did not, but let me know what you think. Is this a good deal, or is it a little too pricey?